Hey guys, welcome to PhD Weekly, where I will be sharing a lesson from my past week, reflecting on my past week during grad school. And so the goal really is that by the end of this series, when I graduate 4, 5, 6 years, hopefully as long as all goes well, there'll be about 200 lessons to really take away from grad school. And so I'm going to structure this as a feelings update, then the lesson learned, as well as either a highlight and or stressor of the week. And so for this video, I want to share really the lesson that I'm trying to implement throughout this week. And this is really how to go about winning at grad school. And I think it's a great lesson for just how to go about winning each day and winning at life in general, but even more so for grad school. But first, feelings update. I'm feeling mostly, I'm not sure what the singular word is, but I'm just feeling mostly like, all right, we're here, we're doing it. I'm excited, but also nervous and just a little bit of fear, like just the smidgest of a bit of fear, but mostly excited. I think the day I got my admissions letter, excitement, overjoyed. The day after, up until like a few weeks ago, was like more 60% fear, 40% excitement. And now that making progress and just doing the thing, definitely more excited and less nervous. Still nervous and like a little bit of doubt, like, oh my gosh, what if? But definitely like 70% excitement. So we'll see how this goes each week, right? And then, so the biggest lesson really, I learned about this lesson during my graduate school interviews. I was interviewing, and it was like all 30 of us applicants meeting with the program directors. There's about three co-directors for the program I was interviewing at. And I asked them if you could give one piece of advice, like not like just the generic stuff, right? Like do your homework, right? Show up on time, like, but just one piece of advice to be successful in grad school, what would that be? And said, okay, you know how everybody has a lab notebook? You want to have a life notebook, just a notebook where you go ahead and document what is the one thing you can do to have the most impact for today. And then at the end of the day, reflect on that. Did you accomplish it or not? Why or why not? And most importantly, set your intention that night for the next day. Why exactly does this work? Because, well, one, you're developing a feedback loop with yourself throughout the day. Okay, did I do the thing I set out to do? No. Okay, why not? And you can think through that problem. But then you're also setting yourself up to have intention for the next day. And I think that is so important in terms of threading the needle along. In grad school, you're going to be overwhelmed. I mean, even in life, right? You're going to get overwhelmed in your job and your career. And so just being intentional and consistently intentional every day, even on the slow times, I think is really useful. And he was saying just every single day, even weekends, God forbid, but just set an intention for every single day. And that will help you on the stressful times, the good times, the more relaxed times. Just make sure you're intentional. And so I've been trying to do that for the last few weeks as grad school starting up. And it's been really helpful. I mean, even now, it's nothing too crazy, but I'm just trying to incorporate being more consistently intentional. If there's a question I have from a previous lecture, I'll ask the professor, and then I'll even take some extra time to like review that concept, even if it's small, no matter how small, just reflect on it, try to learn it, try to really understand it. And that way it is, it's not a problem. When you save problems for like tomorrow or a task for tomorrow, I've learned that it's not a task that you're adding to tomorrow's plate. It's a task that you're multiplying towards tomorrow. Because how many times do you go about trying to do 1 to 3 tasks? And each one of those tasks, you think, oh, 10 minutes each. And then it ends up being like an hour or two or whatever. And so if you save that one task that you could do right now to tomorrow, it just compounds your tasks for tomorrow, really. And so I've found using especially this slow time while I'm just starting up grad school, be proactive instead of reactive by being intentional. What can I get done today, right now, with the time that I have before things really start to pile up later on? That way, a little more work done now saves me some of that like explosive, high, overwhelming work later on. I've chipped away at the boulder really. And so I would say that's my lesson really for this week. And then a highlight or a stressor, I think a stressor has just been I've been very worried that, oh, I'm like missing a class. And if you miss a class for some of them, you like get a fail or like you have to like, it hurts your grade. So I've just been getting accustomed to the schedule. I think a highlight has just been really networking, getting to know everybody. I think that's normal, right? Like your first few months of grad school, whatever, everything, everybody's buzzing and just, oh my gosh, so good to meet you. I'm in grad school. Like, wow, it's so crazy. And then it starts to kind of, you know, plateau out and like, okay, like, oh crap, I'm in grad school. So I'm curious to see how this ebbs and flows. But yeah, I would say that is my thoughts on PhD week number one. Let me know if you have any questions. Not really sure how to end it, but yeah, that is my feelings update, lesson learned, and highlight and stressor for this past week. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.